Now, with more on President Biden's political future, is Senator from Alabama, Senator Tommy Tuberville, on the Senate Armed Services Committee. Sir, it's good to have you this morning. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
Your reaction to what we're seeing, we understand now Hakeem Jeffries in the House is convening a virtual call with leading Democrats to discuss Joe Biden's future. How do you see things?
Well, Maria, this has been a disgrace for 3.5 years. We've been talking to our Democratic colleagues in the Senate. They know what's going on. Mainstream media has hid all this. Now they're panicking, wondering what they're going to do. They put the early debate just in case this happened. Well, it did happen. He doesn't know what day it is. It's unfortunate for Joe Biden. He's sick. Nobody can help that. People do get old. They do get sick. But this is all about the Democrats' power. They're continuing to remain power. Kamala Harris will probably be the candidate running against Donald Trump. That will be very interesting.
Who do you think will be her running mate if it is Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket?
You know, I don't know. That'd be interesting. I don't know who they'd pick. We're just going to stay out of their way and let them cut their own throat, to be honest with you. It's a disaster.
What can you tell us about what's going on in the Senate? I mean, umpteen times in the last 6 or 8 months, we've seen Senator Chuck Schumer come out of the White House after having had conversations with Joe Biden. I mean, I'm talking about all those meetings with Kevin McCarthy to try to get him to stop spending. And Chuck Schumer would come out of the White House and say things like, the president was very strong, the president was very adamant, he said this, he said that. I mean, did Senator Schumer not see what everybody else is seeing in plain sight?
You know,
what can you tell
Trump
us about the conversation in the Senate right now about Joe Biden's mental fitness?
Well, we've all known Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Obama's been running the country along with Blinken and Sullivan out of the White House. They've been making all this. Joe Biden hadn't been making decisions. He might have first year had some say-so about what's going on, but he's been out of it since after the first year in office. And you can tell by Schumer's actions, Pelosi's actions, the first 2 years, they were calling the shots. So hopefully people understand that. They've had total control, not the president, but Schumer and Pelosi and all the deep state's total control of this, and hopefully we can get control of it and get the Democrats out of control and get Trump and all the Republicans running this country.
So are you saying that over the last, I don't know what time frame you're talking about, let's say year, that Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi have been running the country with staffers at the White House, that Joe Biden, and they've been lying to the American people, they've been covering up a massive issue, a mental capacity issue?
Oh, there's no doubt about it, because they'd bring, Maria, they would bring Joe Biden to the Capitol and walk him around, hold his arm, hold his hands, lead him around and kind of show him off. But they're making all the decisions. There's no doubt about that.
Wow. Well, I'm going to ask you about the decisions on the border, because I know you just recently came back from the Darien Gap. Tell me about your trip, and how would you assess the wide open border policy right now?
Well, disaster. Luckily, we've got a new president down there that went to the inauguration of Jose Molino of Panama. He's all about closing the border down, because a lot of the people coming across the border are staying in Panama. They can't afford them like us. But at the end of the day, I talked to some operatives down there, and they say that they're really worried that 5,000 to 10,000 people a day come across the Darien Gap. Unfortunately, they say the most important and the scariest thing happened is people coming from Africa, and they're ISIS. And they're coming across, they're coming straight to the border, southern border of America, and coming into our country. We've lost our mind having an open border. It's a disaster. The Democrats should pay a price just for this alone. Everything else, the inflation, our education system, everything that's going down in our country. The worst thing happened right now is our border. Donald Trump's going to close the border. We're not going to have a country left.
Well, I mean, that's just extraordinary that you're saying you were just there at the Darien Gap, and what you're hearing from officials there are that they are worried about people coming from Africa who have ties to ISIS. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And they're coming by the droves. They're not coming by 5 or 10 or 15. They're coming every day. Most of the people coming across are from Venezuela, who at this time are having a revolution. But a high percentage of them are coming from Africa, and they're ISIS. And there's nothing we can do about it. We can't stop them. The NGOs down there, Maria, are helping them come across. They're giving them supplies so they can make it to the southern border. It is a disaster down there. And luckily, President Molino of Panama is going to try to close it down. But I got my doubts that we're going to help him. And we should be helping him every day.
Well, I also understand that the Chinese nationals are coming through the Darien Gap as well, right? What did you see in terms of Chinese nationals? Now we understand it's 50,000 that have come here through California in just the last year.
Yeah, 7,000% increase in people coming from China across our southern border. You can't make this up. This can't be a worse scenario for the United States of America than what's going on right now. And we've still got 6 more months of these clowns running the White House that are fully compliant of allowing them to come. Number one, we can't afford it. And listen to the FBI director. There is going to be a national disaster with some people coming across this border, and it's going to be all on the back of the Democrats. They've done this to the United States of America and to the American citizens. They should be absolutely ashamed.
Who do you want to see in the lead spot in the Senate when Mitch McConnell steps down?
Well, I think John Thune and Cornyn are the two going to run along with Rick Scott. I think what's going to be the telling tale of that, Maria, is the new people coming in. If we can win some seats from the Democrats and have people coming in, I think they're going to have a huge say-so because it's going to be a very close vote. We'll do that immediately after the election. But Mitch McConnell will step down. We'll have new leadership across the board, not really just Mitch McConnell leadership across the board.
Right, got it. Senator, good to see you this morning. Thank you, sir. Senator Tommy Tuberville joining us there. Quick break.